Hello and welcome to this video about defining basic construction in Mastership. What we see here is an empty assembly model containing empty frame drawings, horizontals and longitudinal drawings. And in this video we are going to make a construction in the bow section. Before we do that, I would like to check for the thickness direction of the frames, and I would like to attach the shell expansion to check for the consistency between the assembly and the shell expansion. So let's check first the thickness direction of the frames. We do this using the assembly manager found in the Mastership ribbon, and I go to the frame section, and we are looking at the front. So all these frames in the front section are facing off, which is a good thing. So everything is fine here. What else we could do here is we could change the position of a frame. So for example, this one we can change to 50,000. We keep the direction still off, and we can close this. So now this frame is shifted to its original position again. So this is we have checked this, and as I said, I also would like to incorporate the shell expansion to check for to visually check for consistency. So I'm going to include it in the assembly. And now we also see the assembly. So this can really help. So for example, here in yellow, we see a bulkhead. And then we should also have a bulkhead here in our 3D assembly model, etc., etc. It can also help to, for example, indicate seams and butts. So here we see a seam, and also here, which should be considered in the 3D construction model. So this is a nice way to visually check if everything is consistent. So yeah, let's make some basic construction elements. I'm going to start with this frame here on the bow section. And in this frame drawing, I did a few preparations to make some basic construction elements. In this case, I would like to make one element here on the right, or in fact the starboard side. And here at the bottom, I would like to make a floor. We can do that using predefined lines or lines we defined ourselves, so a custom construction element, or we can use TOM, which stands for Template Oriented Modeling. And TOM, in a nutshell, means using templates for really specific shipbuilding construction elements. So a example of this is found here. So for example, web frames, very typical. Then we can use one of the templates, and then we get a questionnaire with a lot of parameters to establish this construction element. There is a big library also with details for parts that we can use, for example, welding holes, cutouts, etc., etc. But in this case, we are going to make our own template, so to say. We do that using the bounded panel. I select my lines and look at a part. So there is a identification number generated, starting with an A, then an F, indicating it's a frame. 48 because it's the 48th frame, and then A is attached because it's the first part here. We can choose of a variety of materials. In this case, I choose steel. It's also possible to add your own materials. And I give this board a thickness of 12 millimeters. And I press OK. So now we have a basic part. I'm going to do the same here for the bottom. This then also give a thickness of 12. Press OK. Now, since we have made these parts using template-oriented modeling, we can copy those construction elements to the other frames, which is quite nice. Because in the bow area, the frames are looking similar to each other, but are not exactly the same. So if I save this drawing, then it will become visible in our assembly model. We need a little refreshing here. So here we see our new drawing with the construction elements. And the next step is to copy those construction elements to the next frames. So I go back to this frame drawing and I can use the copy function. What I also can do is maybe to mirror a part in the center line, maybe do that first. This part could also have been on the other side, so let's do that. Yeah, so now we have the symmetrical shaped construction. We are going to copy this construction to the other frames. I'm going to select the parts that I want to copy. In this case, I want to copy everything. And I want to copy it to the next frames, 49 and 50. Okay, let's do that again. Yeah, they are loaded. And when I press OK, the process of copying starts. So the parts are now automatically generated. And as we've seen, the parts are now copied to the other frames. And also here. So what is nice about this template-oriented modeling is that it can also be parametrical. So you can define um, parameters with a name and you can change the values later on. So for example, the height between those two lines is now 1,000 millimeters. But if we decide later on in the process to have it 1200, we can simply change the parameters value and then the complete construction changes. That's to be seen in the next video. Here I would like to show you the copied construction elements to the bow section to get a good impression of the functionalities. So this concludes this video about defining basic construction elements, and I hope to see you in the next videos. Thank you for watching.